Good evening, guys and girls. Welcome to Ancient Gaming. Today, doing my top 5 favorite dungeons from World of Warcraft. At number 5, the Well of Eternity. While End Time and the Hour of Twilight have always left a bad taste in my mouth, the Well of Eternity has always stood out as a truly awesome experience for me. Travelling back to the War of the Ancients, you fight the Burning Legion alongside the Dragonflights, Illidan, Malfurion, and even Tyrande. You even get to fight standout characters from the War of the Ancients trilogy, like Parathon, Captain Xavius, and for the first time in-game you get to see Queen Azshara. The dungeon throws you into a battle of the past with grace and finesse, while showing you an incredibly important moment in the history of Azeroth. At number 4, we have the Stone Core. Cataclysm might not have been everybody's favourite expansion, but the heroic difficulty of the dungeons have always stood out for me. Nowhere was this more so than the Stone Core. Once a place where Deathwing had adamantium plates hammered into his body, it is a holy sight for the Twilight's Hammer. There you get to fight against giant elementals, stone drakes, not to mention Millhouse Manastorm. I remember tanking Osrit where one mistake could be a wipe, but that's what I loved about it. It was a truly challenging dungeon compared to, well, what we have here today. At number 3, we have the Culling of Streatham. No expansion in WoW has ever seen a villain as dangerous or as badass as Arthas the Lich King. Setting up Arthas as a villain for those who have never played Warcraft 3, we travel through time to see the event in which he turned his path onto the path of evil. After a role-playing event which was thankfully made skippable later on in the expansion, we charged into Streatham with Arthas to kill the infected people inside. On top of that, we fought against the infinite dragonflights and finally Mal'Ganis himself. The real cherry on top was the fact that Mal'Ganis used all of the abilities from Warcraft 3. Not to mention that if you completed the dungeon within a specific time limit, you got a pretty sweet Drake out of it. At number 2, we have Mardon. Situated in Desolace, which isn't anybody's real favourite place, is one of the most truly stunning dungeons. Released in patch 1.2, Mardon was the first dungeon to be added after the release of World of Warcraft, and it was a truly massive instance. It even later had to be split up into 3 different areas. The cool thing was that each of these 3 different areas boasted a very unique style and aesthetics, and during this it explained the history of the centaurs, even culminating in the battle against the Rudras, the mother of all centaurs, and daughter of Therazane the Stone Mother. You're even guarded through the sprawling instance by Zaitz's ghost, the son of Cenarius and father of the centaurs. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Frozen Halls. With the Icecrown Citadel raid came my top 3 dungeons of all time: Halls of Reflection, the Pit of Sarin, and the Forge of Souls, culminating in the total gigantic dungeon that is the Frozen Halls. I absolutely loved how all 3 of these dungeons told a story which led up to the raid itself. We got to hang out with Sylvanas, or Jaina if you're in the Alliance, as you battled through to try and steal Frostmourne. All 3 dungeons were voiced incredibly well, and felt really immersive. It's a shame that almost no one visits them, well, apart from Battered Hilt farmers, but at least we got to see the Pit of Sarin in Time Walking Dungeons. I always look upon these dungeons with awe and appreciation for the amount of effort and just love that they poured into this section for 5-man content. So those are my top 5 dungeons, guys. What are your top 5 favorite dungeons of all time? If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good one. Cheers.